Hello everyone, I'm James Eggleston. I'm from a company called Powerledger. What we are is we use a protocol, a blockchain, to transact energy in electricity markets. The problem, our current grid, this is what our grid looks like that's providing electricity to this building right now. There's a big centralised generator located as far away as possible from here, connected using lots of infrastructure. That way to design an energy market is the way that you would have done it decades ago for reliability, security, cost. But in this day and age, it's actually not the best way to do it. And as pointed out in some of the previous panels, we're seeing a move from centralised generation to decentralised generation. By and large, at the moment, as a function of cost. We all might have seen the ACCC review in the media of late, and also windfall profiteering in the energy sector, particularly gold plating of network infrastructure. It doesn't have to be that way. But there are other problems in the market as well. We need to decarbonise. Another problem is, it's not that we have this problem so much in Australia, we're not in the cities anyway, it's access. 1.2 billion people on the planet have access to no electricity network. And ultimately, these are the issues that affect the market that you can solve using a firmware update to the network. Another issue that faces networks is the increasing of decentralised generation and storage and its falling price. As talked about before, Australia per head of capita is the biggest adopter of behind-the-meter solar generation. And the reason for that is not lofty ideological reasons, it's because economically it's cheaper to have energy coming from your roof than it is to be coming down your street, over a mountain and from a big centralised generator. And the risk for the network that a lot of us own as taxpayers is that there'll be mass defection from the grid. And from the state's perspective, from the taxpaying perspective, that's a bad situation to be in. That means you have a massive stranded asset, the biggest machine in civilization stranded. And in that scenario, this is what the load function looks like over time. You see a decreasing amount of demand from the centralised network. But what we can do using our software update, just by putting the Powerledger platform into the existing infrastructure, is we can incentivise people to stay connected, turning the network into a transactive layer, and we do that using this technology called blockchain. So we can incentivise any new technology that comes into the market, new innovations such as electric vehicles, increasing efficiency for home solar, smaller generators such as wind, connecting to the network closer to cities. We can handle it all. What we do is we treat every generator the same. Whether you're a small generator or a big generator, you can get a good price for your electricity. In this example, we have one energy user transacting through the regulated market to the neighbour next door. So rather than relying on the low renewable energy buyback scheme or feed-in tariff for those that came in late, what you can do is use our software to get better price, providing the revenue incentive and the market mechanism to install distributed generation on your rooftop and to spill energy surpluses into the market. So the way we do this is with a dual token system. We use a cryptocurrency we've created called the Power Token and another token called a Spark. When people are using kilowatt hours, their sparks are leaving their wallet and going to the point of generation. Each spark is 1 cent, and the end user can redeem those sparks off the application host. For our Australian projects, that's through the energy retailer. These are the products that we offer. Most interestingly, we generally act behind the meter, so in apartment buildings, microgrid, grid-tied or off-grid scenarios, but we also act throughout the regulated network. One of the interesting applications that we see most interest globally in terms of our software is the distribution market optimization tool. So for instance, I've talked about peer-to-peer trading, and at some instances during the day, you'll get the best benefit to send that energy to your neighbour next door through the market. But actually when you zoom out and look over a whole city, with that thinking, you can actually in aggregate get everyone to participate in another ancillary service, such as a frequency market or voltage stabilisation. And so at that instance in the day, we can draw 1 kilowatt hour out from every battery in a city, and we can provide load balancing services, and at that instance in time, that energy may be worth more than peer-to-peer trading. So where are our projects? We have projects all over the world. We're based in Perth, Western Australia, and we started, our first commercial trial was in the battery and storage project talked about in Perth in the previous session. But in solving a small problem that we had ourselves, what is the market mechanism to facilitate distributed generation? We ended up solving the issue globally, anywhere there's an energy network. These are our competitors. We're over here on the right. This is a report done by Green Tech Media. This is the landscape of people offering blockchain software to transact energy through the network. At this point in time, I mean, we were the first company doing it, and we're still leading the charge by number of deployments globally. This is a summary of our behind-the-meter projects and our across-the-meter projects. I really like talking about a win on a home ground. We have a Smart Cities and Suburbs funding project in the city of Fremantle in Western Australia. That's a grid-connected battery funded by the Australian federal government. And what we've done is partnered with the network operator and retailer to transact energy through the network. We're turning the city of Fremantle into an energy internet, and we're allowing network operators and retailers to come up with bespoke tariffs to apply across the country, and also with our lessons from abroad. Notably, we've partnered with Japan's second largest retailer, KEPCO, on a VPP project, which we're seeking to scale. That's providing those ancillary services in aggregate. We've also partnered with Silicon Valley Power in California. So not only are we facilitating EV charging and peer-to-peer trading, we're also allowing them to report decarbonised energy generated on site for their low carbon fuel standard reporting. So what's next? We have a number of other applications coming. I guess my ask to everyone here tonight is, look, we conducted Australia's first ICO, so we're not seeking capital. What we are seeking is more projects. What we're looking to do in Australia is to drive forward the innovation agenda in this space. So if you're working in microgrids or VPPs, we can provide our software to you at cost price and allow you to have the revenue incentive to facilitate your project and increase uptake of battery storage, increase that return on investment or reduce that time, and basically keep the consumer at the heart of your platform and benefit them the most for staying connected to the grid. So thank you everyone for your time today.